Hey everyone, this is Dr. Hurricane Hal Needham live in Galveston, Texas. We have compound flooding underway. I'm going to explain what that means. Pretty squally up here on the seawall. Be careful out there, everybody. I'm going to show you our community flood meter over here.
Who is Dr. Hal?
Hi, I'm Dr. Hurricane Hal Needham. I'm an extreme weather and disaster scientist with the GeoTrek project. The GeoTrek podcast, which is like a radio show, is now ranked as the #1 podcast for natural disasters. I'm so excited that you came on Galveston Hurricane Tour today. I also run Galveston Hurricane Tour, so this is a great time that you can come to Galveston, do a walking tour of the island or a driving tour. We also have a lot of people that are storm survivors. They share their stories. The tour is very interactive. We're going to talk about Galveston's resilient response to these hurricanes, building a 17-foot high seawall along the coast and raising over 500 city blocks and 2,000 buildings in the grade raising project from 1904 to 1910, still one of the greatest civil engineering projects in the history of the world. Often houses are elevated differently. We can see here the house on the left took on about 3 feet of floodwater inside the house during Hurricane Ike, whereas their neighbor here to the right stayed dry with the main living area during Hurricane Ike because it's elevated. JD, this is really a relic from the past. We used to correlate hurricane categories with saltwater flood levels before Hurricane Ike in 2008. But Ike, Katrina, and other storms proved that we cannot actually do that. And so this is kind of a relic from the past, not how we communicate risk today. Ike high water mark here probably would have been maybe at my eye level, but Ike came in as a Category 2 hurricane, and so a lot of people thought, wait, Category 2, that's in the red down here, and so if you were in a home that was slightly elevated, you might have thought, we have no need to evacuate, it's only a Category 2. Around Galveston Island here, it seemed like Ike produced more like a Category 3 storm surge, and over on the Bolivar Peninsula, the storm surge is more what we would think of as a typical Category 4 hurricane.
You know, Harvey was the most recent storm to really impact the Houston area, and I don't see a marker for that.
Isn't that interesting? We did have a Harvey marker. It was right down there on the ground. It was lower than these 5 saltwater flood events, and so that's part of the picture. Here along the coast, our bigger threat is actually saltwater flooding. When you get up to Metro Houston, it tends to be more from freshwater flooding from a heavy rainstorm like Hurricane Harvey. We cover about 2 miles, usually on a Friday or Saturday evening. It takes about 2 hours and 15 minutes to do the walking tour. We see over 10 sites related to hurricane history and resiliency. But then we actually added on an optional meal here at Little Daddy's Gumbo Bar. People love doing that. It's optional. It takes about 45 minutes. So it ends up being about a 3-hour tour. So far, everyone's ended up back where they started.
All right, so how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, people can just go to galvestonhurricanetour.com, see the different types of tours there. The walking tour, private tours, school tours, all that stuff is right there on the website.
That is so cool. And it really is interesting, you know, to say, oh, the Harvey flood was actually much lower than these other historic floods.
Yeah, it really focuses on what Galveston goes through. It's sometimes different than what Houston goes through. And again, it's Galveston Hurricane Tour.
I'm on it. I'm gonna go.
Is where you find
it.
Yeah, I didn't get the gumbo, by the way. I didn't get to do the meal, so I'm going back too.